What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Shane Rowe. Guys, grab your Yardie's coffee, hit that like button and that subscribe button for me. Thank you very much. And let's get caffeinated. Guys, it's happened. Ten Hag has left the building.
Bye, bitch.
Look, we knew it was going to happen, right? It was more a matter of when than if. The results, they have not been good. They have been inconsistent at best and just poor if you really want to be truthful about it, right? Some of the teams that we played against and get a draw here or we lost there, yeah, sometimes it might not have been entirely on us, but before we would have lost, we would have had 15 chances and missed them all. As of right now, United has created the most chances in the league, 25, I believe, and we've missed the most at the same time. So I understand that Ten Hag had to leave. I don't really bother either way. The thing for me is I'm tired of changing managers. I just want a manager to come in who can give us some results and we can stick with them for the long haul. Maybe there are going to be some ups and downs, but more often than not, you got to get the good results. We're not competing against Fenerbahce. We're not competing against West Ham. And look, leave your comments down below, man. Who you want to come in? Who do you think should come in? Van Nistelrooy is going to be taking over the reins until they figure it out. So he'll be the interim manager. But on one hand, yes, Ten Hag can be blamed. He is the captain. He is the captain of the ship, and you go down with the ship. However, guys, we have to ask a question about some of these players. And people are going to say that, well, Ten Hag picked some of these players, and yeah, and they've the one that he has picked have worked. He brought in Hoyland, right? Xerxes look a good player. Delit looks like a good player. However, there are players like Rashford who hasn't scored 5 goals in the last 6 months. Garnacho has been hitting the woodworks like he's a carpenter.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
And you got to Bruno, who I don't know if it's frustration or just lack of trying, but he's missing chances as well too. So there are a lot of players that Ten Hag didn't necessarily recruit that are still at United, and they're not giving their best. Inconsistency has been the name of this team. One week they do well, the next week they do poorly. The next week they might get a draw, and all of these games they would have had at minimum between 8 and 10 chances to score a goal
Ain't nobody got time for that.
and miss a few, 3 of them. So half of these games we could have put the game to bed in the first half. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember the game. Right now, I'm a bit blank for what games, but I'm sure you guys can leave in the comments which games we should have won, especially in the first half, and the game should have been tidied up and done. Put a couple of the guys on the bench on in the second half a little bit later and let them control the game till the season's out. But we would go into a game. Let's use West Ham for the perfect example. The last game we went into in West Ham, the game should have been over in the first half. And at the very least, you're talking 4-0 in the first half. So is this entirely on Ten Hag? If the next manager comes in and these players are still doing the same inconsistent thing, or are you going to tell me that all of a sudden these guys are going to be great players? Remember, Rashford played under about 5 managers already, right? Between Louis van Gaal, Ole, Jose, Ten Hag, and I don't see Rashford getting any better. He's a good player, a decent player. One of He's in the top 10. Yes, let's say that. But as United, we don't need a player in the top 10. We need a player in the top 3. And the difference between those players in the top 3 versus the players in the top 10 is inconsistency. Inconsistency and form. You have to maintain a certain level of form. And when you have Bruno who provides tons and tons of chances. If Bruno was playing for another team, let's say City, Haaland would have had at least 50, 60 goals by now, just this season. Because the more you create chances and you capitalize on these chances, is the more you keep going. These guys, once you start running up a team, that vibe comes in. You start playing.
Yeah, boy.
You know, the one thing I always criticize Ten Hag for is he never kept a team 3 times in a row, not even twice, if that. I know a lot of it was injuries, but you cannot have a team of 11 that don't play together week in, week out. If you look at City's team, there might be a few changes, bar injuries or a rotation. But for the most part, you know who's starting. You look at Liverpool, you know who's starting. You look at Arsenal, you know who's starting, bar one or two players. United, the defense looked like a Frankenstein put together. The midfield, one week is Garnat, one week is it's Casemiro, the other week is Ugarte. Like, I would rather you just keep the players in the position so they actually understand how other players are playing. You cannot make blind passes without having that telepathy with that winger or that striker. You need that chemistry, and we don't get enough opportunities to build it up. And that was Ten Hag's fault. You know, he gave us 2 trophies, and I appreciate him for what he brought to the team. But to be quite honest, it wasn't good enough. Whether that was Ten Hag's fault or the team, there was Jose, there was Ole, there was Louis Van Gaal. So guys, I don't know anymore, man. I just want a team that can perform and you can be a bit proud of. Now we'll see who they bring in. You guys leave your comments down below. Get that conversation started. Tell me if you agree, do you disagree? But it is what it is, and we move on from Ten Hag. We appreciate what you have done for the club, but it's always bigger than one person. So, like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And GGMU. Peace.